Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Fashion Experiment. I'm Dr. Bridget, your professor of all things fashion, and I'm back today with another video. And I've been sharing on spring summer 2022 trends from the perspective of the consumer, because this season, all the trends are forecasted based on consumer emotions. So today I'm going to talk about the emotional influence of color and how powerful color is and how it evokes feelings, um, within human beings, you and I, human beings that we are. So previous to this video, I've talked about consumer insights for 2022, retail insights, and like I said, the trends for the season. And this season, everything is heavily influenced by what the world experienced in the pandemic and how coming out of the pandemic has affected human beings emotionally, and how that is now being translated into fashion is what it's about. So WGS, the forecasting company whose reports I always share on, established 3 consumer groups, and they are described using these 3 keywords: euphoric, connected, and resourceful. So as I shared today on the power of color, I'm going to connect different emotions with these 3 different consumer groups. All right, so hope you're excited, because I love color. I love to talk about color forecasting because, from a consumer perspective, if you don't know anything about forecasting trends, you would not necessarily connect your emotional state and the psychology of feelings to fashion. And that's exactly how color is used, all right? And as I've already shared, it's all about how we feel, so how do you feel? How do I feel if I reflected on all the emotions that I experience as a human being? That's what I'm saying. It's great because it's something that we can all identify with so much division in the world and so many things that distract us and separate us. Honestly, just reflecting on what we experienced as human beings is something that can bring us together, even though, it's associated with tragedy. I always know that tragedy, it never lasts forever, and you can always learn something. Something good can come from it. Okay, just keep living and you will see the reason for it, the purpose for it. All right, so that's my little inspiration. Okay, so 2022 color forecast. I'm focusing on the topic of restorative color, how color is being used this season to bring restoration from the 3 perspectives of the 3 consumer groups. And then my little blurb here really captures it. 2022 color palette balances the need for newness with appeal of the familiar. So of course, okay, fashion is all about what's new and next. So we're always looking for what's trending for the season, but we also find comfort in what's familiar. And in addition to seeking comfort, we're also seeking some positivity, some calmness, more positivity, right? And that's what we find in the 2022 color palette. Bright colors. I talked about how bright colors are associated with optimism and expression of joy and happiness. And then the color palette is also balanced with our familiar colors of black and white. The black and white colors are also good colors for complementing anything. So, from a practical perspective, as far as matching things, um, those colors are easy to balance out any look. All right. So our first consumer group was categorized using the word euphoric. All right. And this consumer group was the optimistic consumer group that just wanted to express joy. And that was the hashtag that WGSN associated with this consumer group, hashtag joy expression. Um, and they were the consumer group who would seek out the bold colors just to be that breath of fresh air in any room that they stepped into and choose joy, you know, in their lives, regardless of what their environment was. They're making the choice to live a joyful life. All right. So, of course, the bright colors is what this consumer group is going to gravitate towards and what we will see this spring, summer. So, every bright color you can think of, neons, they are relevant, and they will be here in all garment styles. Another thing that was highlighted for the euphoric consumer group was just the idea that the world needs to embrace joy. So again, the lesson is about the power of color. So a message when you wear these bright colors, in the industry, WGSN wants it to be synonymous with hope, with all things positive, all things good, optimism. All right. And that's what the big idea is for the season. It's not just about, wearing swimwear, wearing some cute shorts. It's not about the garment. It's about how it makes you feel. And that's what is being expressed this season. So again, while fashion is fashion, it's clothes, it's shoes, and accessories, this season it holds a much deeper meaning because people need more. They need to know, that life is worth living. They need to know that there is a brighter day coming. And that's what is being expressed this season. So just, hold on to that. When you think about things that you want to wear this spring, summer, or if you're out shopping this spring, summer, hold on to that positivity and the joy and know that when you see the bright colors on the clothing racks, when you're shopping online and you see all these bright colors, it's a pop of joy. It's a joyful expression. And that's, it's wonderful. That's great. It's inspiration. Color for good. Color Move reflects positive and hopeful messages. So along with the bright colors, you're also going to see a lot of logo tees. Which is nothing new. That is a familiar garment style, a staple, but you're going to see more t-shirts with hopeful messages and positive messages to express the power of color. Okay. And then the next category that is also very relevant is mental wellness. So we're moving away from the euphoric consumer group to the resourceful consumer group. The resourceful consumer group was the group of consumers that's categorized by their deep sadness and deep connection with the pandemic because they were a frontline worker, a first responder, someone who their life's work or their path in life, connected them in a deeper way to the pandemic. So it could have been personal or professional. And because of their immersion, in the pandemic, they, in addition to choosing, having the choice to to choose happy, to choose joy, they also need to heal a little. Okay, so mental wellness is also highlighted in regards to the power of color. And this slide just captures what I just said. It highlights the snapshot of the consumer group categorized as resourceful, and they want to make things better with what they have, with where they are. So they're making a choice. It's always a choice, you know, not to stay down, not to choose doom and gloom. But again, because they were so connected to the pandemic, their emotions, I would say, are really still tied up in that place. You know, we can move away from a space, move away from an experience, but the damage that it can do to you emotionally, or even like the wear and tear of it on your body, on your heart, on your mind, still is with you, you know, even as we are coming out of the pandemic, or you can say we are out of it. The emotional toll it takes on you is still there. And that's what this consumer group is focused on. You know, like I said before, they're focused on choosing joy. But now that I've chosen joy, how do I now start the process of, you know, healing the broken places in my heart, healing the broken places in my mind? So the colors that are associated with this consumer group are the calm colors, the colors that bring comfort. And then if you look back at some of my other videos, I talked about the garment styles that are forecasted for this consumer group are simple, minimalistic styles that just speak to meeting their need, meeting them right where they are. You know, so while again, I'm repeating myself, but it makes sense. And I just want to make sure you are hearing me. So I say it a couple times. While they are choosing joy, you know, it's a process to get there. So they're not gonna go, and it is, when you think about it, it's not like I'm just turning on a light switch and, oh, I'm joyful. No, it takes time. I have to process to get to that place if I have been in a low space. So they're not bright neons. They're calm, okay? They're positive, but they're calm, all right? So you see pastel shades for the resourceful consumer group. And then WGSN also forecasted what they're calling spa tones. And this just speaks to now, as I said before, I've chosen joy. I'm going to take this path towards joy. What does that mean? What does that look like? And I really like the fact that they haven't just said it and put it out. Joyful expression, calm, positivity, comfort, how they've also told us how we can achieve that. All right, so that's what this speaks to. Therapeutic spa tones, the self-care, right? We've heard that all throughout the pandemic. So that's what this speaks to. Taking care of your body, your mind, your spirit, all parts of your body, and also mental wellness and nourishing earth tones. So there are several reports that spoke to connecting to nature and the healing power of nature, being outside in the elements, outside, allowing the sun to, you know, touch your skin. And we know that we get vitamin D from the sun. So there is some truth to nature having some healing abilities. So that's what this slide speaks to, earth tones. And this makes sense because this will allow us as fashion professionals now, so I'm thinking about fashion forecasting for the future. After this spring, summer 2022, there will be a fall 2022, and this color palette can carry us into the next season. And then that's what The rest of the slides kind of speak to how consumers can engage in nature. And it also talks about ways that you can connect with nature and be more sustainable. That it was several reports related to that. All right, and then the last consumer group is the connected consumer group. The connected consumers are the consumers who want to engage in their environment. So again, being quarantined or being limited to what you can do, this consumer group was ready to engage and engage in all areas. So in their physical world and in the virtual world. And that's where the word connected came from, connecting with the use of technology. And that's what all the forecasts were about for the connected consumers. So again, not really forecasting any particular garment style, but how we can use technology to enhance whatever we're doing. So if I am outside in nature, I'm going to enhance my experience by using technology. And one color palette that was highlighted is metallics. And this is not anything new. You know, shiny gold, shiny silver, the metallic palette has always been traditionally associated with technology. So this brings me to the end of my lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Be sure to check out more videos on my channel. And I will see you again soon. Bye, everyone.